There's something about the autumn that I've always absolutely loved. In previous years I haven't really been able to fish it much due to school commitments and stuff, but this year it's been very different. I came out when the leaves were starting to fall on the ground, the beautiful colours in the leaves, not to mention the big carp on the feed as well. This autumn I've absolutely loved, in the heart of the Cotswolds, amongst some huge carp, and I've been lucky enough to get into a couple of them. I suppose the story starts a year and a half ago when I was still in school and I got a ticket on this place, and I always remember that first day when I walked around this lake for the first time. And yeah, I've got goosebumps thinking about it now because it was a special, special moment. I never thought I'd be sitting in front of this camera making this video, making the finale of a campaign that has lasted a year and a half. I never thought I'd have caught what I wanted out of this lake in such a short space of time. There's loads of fish in here that I wanted to catch, and yeah, it just so happens that it's all come together right at the very end, and it's all built up, and I've managed to catch the fish that I most dearly wanted to. Well, it's been another very eventful night on blue water. Managed this one, 26 pounder, and in the net is a very big mirror. So yeah, a couple snaps of this one, and it just seems that I'm getting something right at the moment. I'm obviously coming up here maybe 2 nights at a time, and yeah, the spots are really working, the method's really working, and the baiting approach is really working. So I think I'll slip these 2 back, obviously get the other one out, slip them back, and run you through exactly what I'm doing, because it has changed quite a bit since I ran it through with you last. Well, that is a very old carp indeed. Massive pecks on it, and put up the best scrap I've ever had out of this lake. One called the Egg at mid-30, and you could probably tell why members on this lake call it the Egg. A very, very old carp, that's all I know. Absolutely wicked. Another one ticked off the list, and yeah, for this to be this one, proper bit of Cotswold history. Very thick, wide set fish. It's pretty old, so I think I'm gonna slip him back straight away. Thank you very much, carp. Unfortunately, there was no time to have a sit down and run through some tactics, because the left-hand rod was off again. This was fairly unusual on this lake. Normally it would shut off about 9 o'clock in the morning. That would be the last time you expect to get a bite. Well, it's been an absolute carnage morning. I literally was just on my phone sending a few photos around of the fish that I've just caught, and the rod goes off again. This time it's another small one, and it's another beautiful one of the stocky commons that Mark has put in here. Really, really nice. So we're not going to get it out on the bank. We'll quickly slip them back and yeah, send them on its way and get another rig back out on the spot. Well, this session has really been a session to remember. As the Cotswold sunrise is just coming over my left shoulder, I've actually got no rods in. I've managed just the one more. It's not the prettiest looking fish by any means, but it's a fish in here that is part of the A team, and yeah, it's a 40 pounder. It's in the sling, but it's not actually in my swim, because I had to go out in the boat. It was weeded me up for about 20 minutes, and I actually landed it on the opposite bank, netted it off the boat about yeah, about 20 foot off the opposite bank, and as I was around there and I had no rods in the water as it wiped them out, I decided to just row to that bank, sling it up there, and it's waiting over there for me now, just for this beautiful sunrise to finish. Hopefully the sun will come up and then we'll be able to get some photos and videos of it. I think it's my 5th or 6th fish this session. I'll have to count them up in a couple of nights, and so yeah, for this lake that is pretty damn good going. Well, like I said, the sun is just rising over the horizon. The mist is still rolling across the lake, but the sun is up and it is ready. I am ready to get the carp out. I think I've got a coffee on the way, which is very nice. So I'm gonna thank you very much, darling.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, thank you. Hope the mug's not rude. Oh, turn that one round. But yeah, we'll finish this, and then we'll get the carp out. And yeah, I'm more than over the moon. Rods are in now. Time for a coffee. And what else? You're allowed to speak. No, you don't want to speak. Time for a coffee. Well, there you have it. The parrot at £41 12 ounces. A new personal best for me, and it isn't the best looking fish in the world, but it's a very, very old Cotswold character. And yeah, very, very pleased to have this one. Another one of the 18 ticked off the list. There's only one left for me to catch. And hopefully I'll be able to have it pretty soon. But like I said, massively over the moon with this one. Absolute boilie muncher. Took me absolutely everywhere in the lake, in the boat, but managed to get it in. And yeah, I'm very, very happy. Couple of snaps of this one, put it back, head off home, and yeah, a morning in the Cotswolds I'll never forget. My baiting approach on this lake has changed quite dramatically over the year and a half that I've fished this lake. I used to put only about 10 spoms out each time. It was about half a year ago now, back in the summer really, where I decided to fill it in, and I mean fill it in. Maybe 2 17-litre buckets each night, consistently putting it in. And as soon as I did that, and changed my rigs as well to solid bags, something that I had massive confidence in when I fished linear and stuff like that. I had 39 fish in 3 nights fishing solid bags at linear, and I just thought, well, if it works there, it's gonna work here. And so yeah, I put loads and loads of bait out each night, consisting of lots of crumb boilie with some whole boilies in there as well. Normally the Atlantic heat at the moment, as it's autumn time right now, I tend to switch from the Cremino to the Atlantic heat. Some particles, the carp particle shelf life stuff. I don't have any freezer space at home, so it's a perfect alternative. They keep for ages. And yeah, so I put the dark and nutty mix in, loads of tigers, lots of little bits and stuff in there. As well as that, I also put lots of pellet in, maybe about 2 kilo of the Royal Marine pellet in each mix, in each bucket, sorry, just to bulk it out. And what carp on this planet does not like a pellet? That's the mix pretty much done, and it's moving now onto the liquids. Liquids for me is plays a massive part in my angling. I don't think I'd put a spod mix out without heavily dosing it in a load of Atlantic heat hot fish oil, the liquid fish, the crustacean powder, the matching boilie soaks. I absolutely love the Royal Marine one, and yeah, a mixture of all the different ones from Baitworks, all in a big bucket. Just an hour before dark, I'd put out a bucket of bait, make up another bucket, and then leave that. Don't put any more bait out until the following night. And so it gives the time for all the liquids to soak in and get really in the bait, which is absolutely wicked, meaning it releases them through the whole 12 hours that the bait is sitting out there. Moving on to tactics for this summer, I've made the switch onto solid bags, and I know a lot of people will be asking the question. I thought solid bags was a small fish tactic. Well, proof is in the pudding. I've had 3 40s this summer, all on solid bags. I used to fish quite a lot of sort of hinge stiff rigs, chod rigs, the typical like big fish rig, and I saw a lot of people on the lake as well use those rigs, and I thought, well, you've got to do something different in your angling if you want to catch more than other people. Same goes with a lot of bait going in. So I decided to fish solid bag. For the year and a half that I've been on here, I haven't seen a single other person cast one of them out. And the first night I had it on, I think I had about 3 or 4 in that night, which is pretty unheard of. And since then, it's just built and built and built. It's absolutely devastating. Making them up with little sea monster dumbbells as well, just on short little rigs. I tie up about 10 bags, which might seem crazy if I'm fishing a very low stock pit in the Cotswolds, but I will only leave them rods out there if they're 100%, because I've had times before that I've gone, that'd do, and you don't catch. And the times that you make that bit more effort, maybe 10 casts, I know it's quite a lot with 2 rods, but if they're bang on the money and they've gone down perfectly, then in my head, that is the most confidence I could have to catch a fish. A week passed and it was time to head off again. The bites just kept on coming and I couldn't miss out on this autumn feed up. Well, it's super early in the morning now, and yeah, the mist is just rolling across the lake and can't really see anything, but I have just slipped the last one of them all into the net, and yeah, I cannot really explain how crazy I feel, really. It's been a mental couple of weeks. Yeah, within a week I've had 2 40s from the Syndicate. It's still in the net now. I'm just waiting for Mike to come round to do a couple of the photos, and we'll get it out and see what is in the net. But it looks massive. I definitely know it's the biggest fish in here. It yeah, put up quite a good scrap. My net got caught as I tried to net it, but I could see it ready to be netted on the surface, and I knew exactly what fish it was. It has a beautiful, like, crinkled tail, and yeah, very distinct, sort of half linear on one side, and it was wallowing on the surface, and yeah, my net got stuck before I managed to get it over the net cord. I'll stop waffling on now and wait for Mike to get here, and then we'll get it out. How big?
It is 48.12.
You're joking.
No, not.
No.
48.12.
No.
Yeah.
What?
48.12.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Wow.
Well, look at that. A new personal best for me. The biggest fish in the lake at 48 pound 12 ounces. I can't quite believe I'm even saying that. The last one I wanted, and yeah, that means I've ticked them all off now. On to pastures new. But it's been an amazing year and a half, just under, on this lake. Learned so much, and like I said before, switched up the tactics and managed some absolute brutes from this lake.
Keep it there, mate.
Over the moon.
Just get this shot. This is an awesome picture, so keep it there.
Well, your typical campaign video really ends here, and this video should follow suit and end here as well after catching the biggest fish in the lake. But due to a couple of shots that I didn't have for this very video, I decided to return, and I did get the rods out for one last night. Where it seems to be, the spot that I'm fishing is a spot that just keeps on giving. Another 30 pounder falling to it, and yeah, it's absolutely crazy how many fish I've caught off that spot now. Whee! Holy shit.
What?
49.8. I can't quite believe I'm saying it again, but I've caught the same fish back to back. I'm just up here at Blue Water again just to really round up the whole film, round up my whole time on here. Yeah, I've come up here for a couple of nights, just flick the rods out, back on the old spots, bit of bait over the top, and it's gone again, and I've caught the same one. It's the half-lin again, this time at 49 pound 8 ounces. Can't quite believe I'm saying that, just shy of 50 pounds. I suppose this is the best roundup of the lake I could have asked for, but I think it is time now to head to Pastures New, like I said before, and let the other Syndicate members have a go at catching her. Absolutely wicked. Thank you very much, Carp.